Hi, I'm so excited to have this conversation.
Hello.
There's so much to discuss.
Everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hi. I think, Sherry, you've redefined the profile of a leader. So what does that mean exactly at Pfizer?
Yeah, so first of all, when we're using the word leader, we're actually not talking about somebody's place in an org chart or how many people they lead or manage. We're actually saying it's a skill for us. So we expect all of our employees to be leaders. Some of the things that we're including in that profile, they're based on our 4 values, which are courage, excellence, equity, and joy. We want people who actually have the courage to make decisions, are not afraid to make decisions, people who will challenge convention, particularly when things are uncertain, and because we believe that's where you get innovation. We want people who actually engage with compassion. So we feel like it's everybody's responsibility to check in with one another. So that's something we look for in leaders. And we need people to know when to balance progress over perfection. Because again, for us, time is so important. Our patients are waiting. So not everything needs to be perfect. There are things that we do that have to be perfect. We put medicines into people, so that needs to be perfect, but not every other process per se. And so this progress over perfection is also something that's very, very important to us.
Last year, Etsy's executive team changed quite a bit. We had promoted 2 VPs into the C-suite and hired some externally. And once we got past the baseline skill set and experience that you're looking for, we were really looking for 2 things, and it is around agility and followership. And what I mean by agility is the ability to find clarity through moments of chaos. And that is the world in which we live in. That's kind of how work is nowadays. And then followership. So do people want to work with you or for you again? And you can tell by the way people tell you their stories, the names they mention, and how they talk through those stories, how real and genuine those things are.
One of the things I read in preparation for this was that nearly 60% of employees report that they are stressed at their jobs every day. So at Pfizer, you were under even more pressure, I think, a very specific kind of pressure that had to do with the pandemic and the speed of innovation. You guys delivered the vaccine in 9 months, something that usually takes more than a decade. So how did you sustain that? And how did you deal with employees that, just naturally were very stressed and burnt out at times?
I mean, that was real. We certainly were able to just really shatter bureaucracy to get the vaccine done. But our CEO was very clear. We have other patients who are waiting who may have the oncology patients that would like us to do the same thing, to be able to speed up making drugs for people that need them desperately. So what we tried to do is we did a couple of things. We really tried to make our teams fit for purpose. We do a lot cross-functionally. And we tend to be very inclusive, which is a good thing in most cases, but you have so many people in the team that you're not even clear who the decision maker is, and we've also tried to be clear about who is the decision maker so we can make decisions quicker. And then, so that's helped with kind of the bureaucracy and speeding things up. And then just for our people from a wellness, we've worked with a company called Thrive to really help focus on micro steps. So it's not just these big, okay, go take a vacation. We've given people wellness days as a company to say, don't worry about work. Just take this time off to really focus on yourself. And then just really checking in with people. I can't state that enough. Not how you doing, and before the person's answered, you're down 5 steps. Really, no, how are you doing? Because what this pandemic has taught us is not everybody's doing fine. And so the check-in is very important.
I think one of the biggest challenges people face, and a challenge more women and marginalized people tend to face, is that they have to take care of others, right? They're in caretaking roles, they're either parents or they're taking care of other people. And so, in some cases, careers stall. How do you support employees, and Sherry, we'll start with you, in the sort of midlife and parenthood positions who may be managing caregiving responsibilities?
Yeah, this is, really top of mind because unfortunately we're still talking about this because it's real for people. And mainly women, not that men aren't caregivers, not that men are not working parents, but it tends to affect women in a disproportionate way. And I just, from a personal example, remember being pregnant with my second child. I have 2 children, and there were opportunities posted, VP opportunities, and I had just started to do the math, and I thought, well, if I get one of these opportunities, I would literally be in the job a month and then go on maternity leave for 6 months. And for me, I wanted to take my maternity leave. And so I agonized over a whole weekend and really decided I'm not applying. I had made peace with it. That's okay. Other opportunities would come up. And if it wasn't for a really special HR person who really helped me to see how flawed my thinking was. She's like, so let me get this straight. You're not applying because you're pregnant. And I was like, well, yeah,
When you say it like that, it sounds
I guess
bad.
I'm not applying because I'm pregnant. And she said, would you ever advise anybody else? And I said, no, of course not. And so ended up, long story short, applying, getting the job, took my leave. It was fine. I came back, no issue, right? And so a man would never have to just deal with that. Literally, he could be the most involved parent ever. He would never have to do that because he doesn't have to take the leave. And so a couple of things that we've done is we have a women returnship program that I just absolutely love because we're helping women and welcoming them back into the workforce. You don't have to take 5 steps down because you chose to take some time off to care for whomever. So that's one of the programs I'm really proud of. We also have really good benefits to just help with people, whether it be, actually helping with credit for child care or elder care. These are just things that take the load off of people who have other things to focus on. And I think the last thing is the mobility question. We used to be a place where everybody had to move, and we're very clear that that can certainly affect women more. Everybody doesn't need to be in New York City to have career opportunities at our company. Just saying that out loud has been very empowering for the women and other people who have caregiving situations, whether they be women or men in our company.
Yeah, when I first became a mom of my first son, I really struggled. I really had an identity crisis. I was just one of those people that I always worked nights and weekends and kind of gave my all to work. And I had this child and thought I have to now keep this little kid alive, and it's a big responsibility. And I needed to shift, but I was not willing to. And I tried to keep going at the same pace for 2 years. At that point, I then realized I needed to reevaluate how I was living and how I was balancing both jobs. And so professionally, Etsy has done a lot to support parents. And I know we're short on time, so I'll talk about my favorite one, which is we have a bonus pool, which is a lot of money. So everyone round applause for Etsy because it's a big investment.
We love bonuses.
Yeah. And the pool is great because as a manager, you stress a little bit about your person going out for 6 months, right? They're doing a lot. And as a person going out, you also stress because you're thinking, I'm leaving a lot of work for other people. And so what the bonus pool does is allows our contract team to hire a contractor for the person going out on leave from that centralized budget. Or you can use the budget to give the money to 1 or 2 people who covered your job while you were out. And I hope more companies do it because it's very popular and it's just love all the way around. The people coming back love it. The people who covered get more money. The managers love it. So
That's a great program. Thank you guys both so much. I really love talking to you, and I'm sure the audience really benefited.
Thank you.
All right.